Welcome back everyone. Now in today's video, as you can see by the title, I'm predicting every single championship club's top goal scorer this season. I think this will be the most difficult video I've had to do as of yet. I've had to do a little bit of research on certain players and certain teams over the last year or so, just purely because, you know, I'm a football fan and I watch championship, but I don't watch every single championship game, so there's going to be some teams in the championship where I know more about one team than I do the other. That's just normal. So yeah, I'm going to try my best to predict this. I would say half of them are fairly obvious, but I would say I'm going to go for some wingers and midfielders as top goal scorers for certain clubs, and I don't think people will agree with that, but we'll see. But before I get into my predictions in each team, if you're liking content like this, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button with the bell notification so you don't miss more content like this. I'm going to be having quite a few football videos, as well as I've got some other topics of videos coming up soon within the next couple of weeks as well. Being international break, I thought I'd try and do still football related videos, but I want to do something a bit different. I don't want to do just football all the time. So yeah, I've got some pretty cool stuff coming up the next 2 weeks, so keep an eye out for that. So, first team is Fulham. Now, I think it's going to be very obvious, this one. Yeah, for me, it's got to be Mitrovic. I mean, 6 goal contributions in the first 5 opening games with 4 goals and 2 assists. And, you know, he's just proven, and no matter who he's there with, he's top goal scorer in the Championship. For me, he will be the top goal scorer in the Championship this season. So, not only will he be the top goal scorer for Fulham, but he will be the top goal scorer in the Championship, I believe. And I can see him getting maybe like 20-25 plus goals this season, and a promotion definitely for Fulham. Now, Bristol City, I'm going to go for Andreas Weinmann, and apologies if I don't get all of the names correct. I've not heard of a few of the people that I've had to pick out for certain teams. But, you know, with 4 goals in their first 5 games for him, being Bristol City's top goal scorer so far this season, and having, you know, Bristol City sitting in 11th so far. Yes, it's only 5 games into the season, but strong start for him, strong start for them. And I can imagine after the international break, he's only going to continue his form. West Brom, for me, is Callum Robinson. 5 games. Oh no, sorry, he's only made 4 appearances so far this season, and he's got 4 goal contributions to the team. West Brom sitting in second, I believe, second or first. They're in the top 2 so far, so strong start from him. He's a good forward. I like Robinson actually. He makes it quite difficult when you play against him. You know, he's not the best striker or best forward, I should say. But he'll score you goals, especially in the Championship, and I think he'll be fine this season, and he'll be the top goal scorer for West Brom this season. Reading, I'm going to go for Lucas João. I'm going to base this off of last season, especially when Watford were in the Championship. I saw quite a bit of Reading last season. He really impressed me last season, and there was a period of like mid-season where he just looked unbelievable, and I feel like he will get that confidence and that form back. It's just Reading have started off a lot worse than I think a lot of people thought, a lot worse than I thought they'd start off. So I'll give it to Lucas João. I think he'll find his feet within the next few games, and I think Reading will slowly start to build up the table. Hull City. Yeah, to be quite honest, I don't know too much on Hull. I did see the highlights and stuff on the first week when they beat Preston 4-1. Lewis Porter looks good. Yeah, I like the look of him actually. I feel like if he carries on his form, because even in I've been looking at their games, even in their losses that he's played in, he's looked pretty good and pretty threatening in the forward department. So I would say a couple of years time, if he can really find his feet at Hull and maybe another team, he might be a player we're all talking about in a couple of years, because yeah, he looks really impressive. I've heard a few I spoke to a few Hull fans about him, and I spoke to 2 Hull fans, and the 2 that I spoke to said that they believe that he will end up being moved on somewhere a bit better than Hull, because they think that he's got something quite special. So, you know, by the sounds of it, he's got high potential. He looks very good, and from what I've seen of that, just highlights, sure, but he looks very good. So yeah, I'll give it to him. I think he could be the top goal scorer for Hull, and you know, if he finds his feet, go somewhere else. Who knows? Peterborough United. Clark Harris has got to be. Okay, fair enough, he's got no goals in the Championship yet. He's got 2 assists to his name. 31 goals in the League One last season, pretty much the reason they got promoted to the Championship. He'll be their top goal scorer regardless of where they finish this season. Blackpool. Now Blackpool, out of 5 games, they've only scored 4 goals. And Irish forward Shane Lavery has scored 2 of their goals and assisted 1. So I'm going to give it to him. I don't know much about Blackpool's squads. I enjoyed it when they came up to the Championship. I thought it was just something different. I feel like their football club deserved it. But yeah, I don't know much about their squad, to be honest, so I'm just going to go with him. Swansea City. I'm going to go with your current higher goal scorer, which is João Pyro, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. Again, some of these players I've not necessarily heard the commentary of, so I don't really know how to pronounce all their names. But in 4 appearances for Swansea, he's scored 3 goals so far. He's their top goal scorer, with 1 assist to his name also. To be honest, Swansea are looking awful at the moment, if I'm being completely honest. I mean, fair enough, I didn't think they'd be promoted or anything this season, but they are. I know it's only 5 games, but it's a really poor start for a team like Swansea, if we're being honest. I thought Swansea would be definitely a lot higher than where they are now, but again, there's 43 games to go still, so I'm sure they'll be fine come the end of the season. Just a poor start. After the international break, they might come back in form, but yeah, I think Pyro will be your top goal scorer this season. Nottingham Forest. Now, I think your attacking midfielder Brennan Johnson, is actually pretty good. I think he offers. He doesn't just offer goals. I think he offers goals, assists. He's an attacking midfielder, so he really pushes the team up. Who was it again? I saw a Nottingham Forest game a couple of weeks ago, which he was playing in, and their team were just so defensive minded. He carried the ball 10 yards maybe by himself, and then he stopped and he literally told the winger to run up with him, and he just, he pushed the team up there, and he's an attacker. He's a good attacking threat. Whether it's crazy for me to say he'll be your top goal scorer this season, maybe, but I think he really does offer a lot for Nottingham Forest in the midfield, especially in the attack. I'm going to go with him for your top goal scorer, and again, I think that's going to be one of them that's an unpopular opinion that Forest fans might not agree with, or there'll be some clubs that definitely don't agree with the people I say, but again, this is just my opinion from an outsider view of the Championship teams. So yeah, Sheffield United. Yeah, 5 games, 1 goal, second last. It's not good enough from Sheffield United, if I'm honest. But thankfully, they made interesting signings. For example, they got Morgan Gibbs-White from Wolverhampton. But I think the top goal scorer this season will be the other signing he made from Aston Villa, Conor Hoolahan, or Hoolahan. I say Hoolahan, but it's, yeah. But he, if you look at his stats alone for Aston Villa in the Championship, not just the assists, but the goals for a winger as well. He's scored so many goals. And with you guys scoring 1 goal in 5 games, being second last, yeah, he's exactly what you guys needed, and it's a good signing, to be honest. And Olsen was also a good signing for the goalkeeper as well. So you guys have made some good signings in this transfer window on deadline day. So maybe this will be the turnaround for Sheffield United this season. Preston North End, 23-year-old Danish forward Jacobson. 2 of their 6 goals so far this season. He's looking a good threat for them. Preston have surprised a few people. First game of the season, didn't think they'd lose 4-1 to Hull, but then also I didn't think they'd go on to beat Swansea 3-1 2 weeks later. So I don't know what's going to go on Preston North End's season, but if they're going to keep having games like that, I think they're in for one big roller coaster of a season. But I think their fans will enjoy their season this season if their season will be like that. I think the Championship's all about the goals and the entertainment, and I think that's what Preston North End will get this season. And I think Jacobson would be a good reason for that. Millwall, it's Jed Wallace. It's straight up Jed Wallace. He doesn't score every week, but it's every time I check up on Millwall and they've won a game, it's like he's scored. Or every time we play them, he scores. I don't get it. He's a good goal scorer. There's no one else that I even was considering for Millwall. For me, it'll be, if he stays fit and he's playing every game, Jed Wallace will be Millwall's top goal scorer this season. He's a great striker. I rate him quite a bit. I wouldn't take him at Watford, but we have better strikers than Jed Wallace. But for a Championship club of Millwall's stature, yeah, I think he's great. And I think he does very good for them every season, and he's quite consistent. So, Jed Wallace. Barnsley was a bit difficult. I did watch quite a bit of them last season, but I wasn't paying too much attention to them, if that makes sense. So I'd watch a lot of their games, but to be honest, half the time I might be on my phone or something. But for me, this season, Woodrow looks pretty deep. I think he will find his feet after this international break. Barnsley, after an incredible season last season, getting to the playoffs, unfortunately missing out of the final, losing to Swansea. I think they'll be fine this season. I think he'll find his feet. I think the team will get back to form. I'm not saying Barnsley will push for playoffs again this season. I don't think they will, but I do think they will have a comfortable mid-table finish this season. Derby County. Firstly, in the last year, maybe 2, this is the worst I've ever seen a club run in my life. It's even worse than people can critique Watford all they want about us and our sacking of managers, which, yes, I don't agree with either, but at least our club is run well enough where, we're in the Premier League, our players are getting paid, and everyone's fairly happy. Derby County was an absolute... I'm pretty sure that the wage thing is sorted now. There's talks about them potentially having -9 points or 10 points from them breaking regulation rules. I'm not sure if that's true or going to go ahead. By the looks of it, no, it won't. But I just want to point out that Derby are shambles, and I still definitely think they're going to go down this season. Having said that, regardless of if you guys go down or not, you will. But I think Tom Lawrence will be your top goal scorer. I actually rate Tom Lawrence. I'm surprised. And this is no disrespect to Derby, but just the way your club has been run. You stayed up on the last day of the season last season, drawing 3-3 to Sheffield Wednesday, who got relegated instead of you, having had -9 or 10 points that season for them. So realistically, you know, you guys should have been in... Not should have been, because, you know, they rightly so was deducted points. But if they didn't, you guys would have been League One before the last game of the season last season. And Wayne really wouldn't be a manager right now. So, and you guys, yeah, for me, you know, one win, 3 draws, 1 loss at five games. It's an okay start. I'm sure Derby fans are taking that because you're not bottom or you're not losing every game. But I'm actually, like, no disrespect to Derby, I'm just surprised Tom Lawrence hasn't gone to a bit of a better club. I think he could do a bit better than Derby County. I'm sure there will be someone who's a Derby fan who would also think the same. I think Tom Lawrence, I'm not sure about Premier League quality, but I'm sure he could break into a club that might, you know, contend for playoffs. But yeah, for me, he'll be your top goal scorer this season. Middlesbrough. Now, to be honest, Ikpeazu's actually really impressed me at the beginning of the season. He's made 4 appearances, starts anyway, 2 goals, 1 assist. And he said in an interview recently that he wants to prove himself this season, and it's not a bad start. He's definitely looking in form. I think it's a shame for him that there's a couple of international breaks already, because now he's going to have to keep his form over the not playing for the club for 2 weeks and then playing 3 games, well, 4 or 5 games in the Championship, then another 2-week international break. But he's really impressed me so far. He looks good for Middlesbrough, and I think he's definitely hitting 10 plus goals this season. I would even go to say 15 plus goals this season. I'm not too sure about 20, but I think he'll be a big factor in Middlesbrough's goal scoring in the Championship this season. Blackburn Rovers. Now, when Harvey Elliott went back to Liverpool, you guys lost Adam Armstrong. I did not know where you guys were going to come from. To be honest, I didn't. But, you know, by the looks of it, Diaz was for a shout. Like, I was thinking Diaz, because he's had a good start to this season. But to be honest, Gallagher, for me, is looking impressive. I think Gallagher is a player that will link up well with Diaz for Blackburn. And I think if both of them are on the pitch at the same time, then Blackburn are going to cause some dangerous attacks, and I think they will score some more goals. Luton Town. Now, I might not get this guy's name fully correct. I'm pretty sure it's Musqui, or that's how it's spelled anyway. But I like the look of him. He looks good. He scored a couple of weeks back for you guys in the Championship. I like the look of him. Of course, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, Luton did lose Collins to Cardiff, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, he was a proven top goal scorer for Luton Town. Luton have had a decent start. I don't want to say it's a bad start. Yes, they lost 5-0 to Birmingham, which I definitely didn't expect. But before that, they were doing fine. Their performances were decent. Losing 3-2 to West Brom, but they were 3-0 down. They had a good fight back, and they scored 2 goals in the second half. I thought they played a lot better in that second half. If they played like that the whole game, they may have even taken a point or even beaten West Brom at West Brom's place. You never know. After the international break, I've got a feeling that Luton will probably get back in form. I still am going to stand my prediction of Luton getting top 10 this season. I do believe they will get top 10. I think they'll have a great season. As a Watford fan, yes, it's hard to say that, but I think they are a good club. They've done well last season. They've done very well last season, and the season before that, they deservedly stayed up on the last day of the season in Championship. So, you know, credit where credit's due. To be honest, it's there. So, yeah, but I could be very wrong about him, or, you know, how to pronounce his name. But yeah, he looks impressive for me, so I'll go with him. Coventry, yeah, this is a team where I really don't know much about, unfortunately. I feel like they're a team where I'll probably watch a bit more of them this season, especially if they keep staying with, I think they're 7th or 8th, or, yeah, so they're I mean, it's 5 games in, but if they keep up there, then, you know, if they start up there, mate, if they're near the playoffs by Christmas, then Sky will probably pick them up and they'll be on TV a bit more, so I had the opportunity to watch them and how they actually play a bit more. I'm going to go with your current top goal scorer this season. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name. I have no clue how you say that. It's on the screen. I don't know how you say it. It's 2 goals, 1 assist so far this season. He's doing great. He'll be your top goal scorer. Birmingham. Now, Birmingham are 8th at the moment, and you know what? I'm going to be biased here, but of course I'm a Watford fan, so yes, you've just signed Troy Deeney. Troy Deeney's going to be your top goal scorer. I'm telling you, Blues fans, if you get a penalty, you're not missing a penalty this season. If Troy Deeney's on the pitch, you're not missing a penalty this season. No one in the Championship is saving his penalty. No one. Okay, in the Premier League, if he went to a side, yeah. But ever since, he's banged it as hard as he can down the middle. Premier League, Championship, no one saved one. No one can save one. So if you guys get penalties, you're fine. You're going to be absolutely fine this season. Open play goals, maybe. You still might do alright. He still might do alright from that. He didn't get to score that many open play goals last season for Watford in the Championship because he was injured for half of the season. And he still scored, I believe, 13 Championship goals for us. So not bad for Troy. So yeah, without being biased, but I am being biased, then yes, Troy Deeney will be Birmingham's top goal scorer this season, and I hope he is, and I hope the Blues get playoffs, and I hope they can get promoted. That would be great. Cardiff City. Now here's the thing. Flint is your top goal scorer with 4 goals. Flint. But you guys are 9th, I believe, 9th or 8th. I should have done more research on the Championship table as of right now, but I'm getting the spots pretty much right. So Flint's your top goal scorer with 4 goals, which makes no sense to me. But, of course, I'm not going to go with Flint to be your goddamn top goal scorer because that would be absolutely ridiculous. But for me, it's got to be more. Scored against Watford last season. But no, overall, seriously, he is a good striker. I like the look of him. And I think he will be... I think he'll be Cardiff's top goal scorer this season. Huddersfield Town. How the fuck are they 4th? No, but in all seriousness, I'm actually happy they're 4th place. Back when they were trying to fight, well, when no one expected Huddersfield Town to get promoted to the Premier League, that entire season, from like game week 2 or 3, when they'd won their first couple of games and they were like top, I was like, oh, how good would it be if Huddersfield got promoted? I said to all my friends, they were like, they'll drop and stuff. And the whole season, I wasn't watching their games necessarily, I was just checking up on Huddersfield. And when they got playoffs and then they beat Sheffield Wednesday on penalty shootout, and then they got to the final, then they beat Reading on the penalty shootout. Oh my god, like, just for a neutral fan, like it was like it wasn't the same feeling, but it was like similar to like when Leicester won the Premier League. It's like a true underdog story, like an unbelievable story. And yeah, so I got a little bit of a soft spot for Huddersfield Town. I always have done since that season, especially. And they're 4th, and I would love for them to go back to the Premier League. I'm not too sure what will happen because it's 5 games in, and this is maybe a time where they will drop. But oh my god, I think my ideal thing would be Birmingham and Huddersfield coming up to the Premier League. I think that would be awesome. I don't think it will happen. I'm just saying that would be pretty cool. I would love that to happen. But I don't think a lot of people agree with this, but I think the winger, Sorba Thomas, will be the top goal scorer for Huddersfield Town this season. He looks really impressive on the wing. He offers a lot. I think, yes, assists is what a lot of Huddersfield fans will think he will get. But I don't know, he's looking alright. He has scored already this season for Huddersfield as well. So against Reading, I believe it was, in the 4-0 win against Reading, I believe. I think he'll have a great season, and I hope Huddersfield have a great season as well. Stoke City, I'm going to go with Nick Powell. I was impressed with him last season in Championship, and not even just that as well. So far this season, I'm impressed with the football Stoke City are playing. I think it's been great. They're playing some really good football, and as it stands, if they keep this kind of football up and this momentum up, I will not be surprised if they get playoffs this season, because they are playing really well at the moment. And shout out to Ben Wilmot being in that squad as well. QPR, Queen's Park Rangers. Look, you just loaned in Watford to Andre Gray, so yes, I'm going to be a little bit biased because he's going to get game time there. I believe he'll probably play, whether he's a 90-minute striker for you guys, I don't know. I think he'll start for you guys, and I think he'll get at least 70 to 80 minutes. And it would just be it's his last year in his contract, and he's doing that on loan at you guys, QPR. So he's going to go on free because after he's finished his loan with QPR, his contract will officially be finished at Watford, so he'll be going for free, probably to QPR if they like him. And it would, yeah, and as I was about to say, it would just be Watford's luck if he was to score 20, 25 plus goals for QPR and get them playoffs or promotion. That would be Watford's luck, but we'll see. But yeah, I may be biased. I actually like Andre Gray. I'm not saying like he deserves to start at Watford. I'm not saying that at all. I think he has been criticised rightly in the past, but I think sometimes he's over-criticised by Watford fans, especially. Which, yeah. So it's a shame. I would like, personally, I'd be happy for Andre Gray to find his feet at QPR, and even if he's not going to come back to Watford, but I think he just deserves to have a good season somewhere, and maybe even get a playoff place with QPR and just get his confidence back, because it's something he's definitely lacking at the moment. Bournemouth, I'm going to go for a bit of an obvious one. Your current striker, Dominic Solanke. He's had a great start to the Championship season so far, with 3 goals, 1 assist within 5 games. Bournemouth on paper, the signings they've just made, like if you look at all of the signings they've just made, off the top of my head, like you got, Jesus Christ, Gary Cahill, Jamal Love from Swansea, who's very good. Like I saw a lot of people in I'm in a few of the Championship things, and a few people like didn't really know who he was outside of Swansea. Yeah, he's a brilliant player. Like I would have taken like, Low at Watford. Well, maybe not now, but like, you know, a couple of seasons ago, I would have taken him at Watford if he was that good back then. But yeah, you know, he's really good. They've made some really good signings. If you look at Bournemouth's transfer, like on paper anyway, they had a Premier League team, and now I definitely think they've 100% got a Premier League team. But yeah, I think Dominic Solanke will finish top of the. I think he will finish top goal scorer for you guys this season. So guys, that is officially my prediction for every single Championship club's top goal scorer this season. I'm sorry if I either got some names wrong or if I just didn't know too much about your club. It's a bit difficult for me when I'm so focused on Watford all the time to know everything about, you know, all the Premier clubs and every single Championship club. I do watch a lot of Championship football, hence why, you know, I know quite a lot about, you know, there's probably about 12 to 14 squads I know a lot of, teams I know a lot about in the Championship. You know, teams like Coventry and stuff, which I said I will watch some more this season. I'm definitely going to sink my teeth into more Championship this season and learn a bit more about some squads and some players. But yeah, if you like this video, guys, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button so you don't miss more content like this. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back soon this week. Thank you.